Right, the Lincoln Barons Charter Trail. They put these barons round for the 800th anniversary of the Magna Carta, and they're around Lincoln. Now I was going to do the whole trail, however I've done about half of it. The reason being that I've done the top half, which is the more interesting part of Lincoln, and the bottom of the High Street and around the Brayford now is just new buildings, and the university's ruined the Brayford, you know, it's just students and pubs now, so it's pointless. So you got the best bit of it. Also, I've been walking around for over 3 hours. Lots of people about, very friendly people, had a nice time. And I'll put this link at the bottom in the comments of the video. So I'm going to show you some of the barons, starting with number 1, right? But you see, that's this one. I'll just show you one. So there we are, right? And there it is, you see. So that's where we start, and I've done down to the river. Well, it's a popular day. We're on a major route march, and we're doing the Lincoln Baron Trail, and we'll tell you about them as we go round. Yeah, I'm about 1.5 miles from home so far. Now what I'll do, I'm going to keep them fairly short. This will be a bit longer for an introduction, obviously. Keep them fairly short, and there's a link all about them which I'll put in the description, so you can have a look at that at your leisure if you like. So there we are. Right, here we are at number 2, which is Newport Arch, the only Roman arch where traffic can still pass underneath. So there's a bit of history for you. Like I said, I'll put a link at the bottom so you can find out all the names of each one and what they are. You do realise they were King John's barons, and it's all to do with the Magna Carta. You know, the most important charter that gave everyone the right to freedom without being unfairly locked up. Not, well, maybe it still works, that's a tale for another day, isn't it? And I should have said that the first one was on Burton Road outside the Lincolnshire Life Museum. Right, we're now in Bailgate, and here's the next one. Like I said, I'm keeping them fairly short because there's 25, but even if I have a minute for each one, it won't matter. And each one's had their own designer, of course. The next one is just off the Bail, in the small square. Just to show you where we are, it's near St Paul's Lane. I'll zoom in. Right, well we're now at the west gate of the castle entrance for the next one. There we are. A lot of people about doing this trail today, but a lot started at the other end. So before I get shot for trespassing, I locked up in the tower. We're at the East Castle entrance now for the next one, you see. Still a long way to go. Well, everyone's happy and smiling and the sun's shining. Here's the next one. And this, by the way, is in between the cathedral and Castle Square. So I'll just have a very steady pan around to show you where we are. Right? So there's the cathedral on the right hand side, and of course the castle's on the left. So just to let you know where we are. We just had a joke because they look very close together on the map. They're a 1/4 mile apart on here, so I've another long way to go. We're now at the top of Steep Hill in Michaelgate, where we find the next one. Walking down the cobbled streets of Steep Hill, at the top of Steep Hill I should say, because that's Steep Hill, the best street in Britain the other year, remember? And we find the next one. So there we are. These are quite close together, the others are a bit further apart. Right, it's a bit faint, I don't know if you can read it, but this is the museum. Opened in 2005, but it's actually called the collection. So, if you try and find the museum online, you have to put in the collection. Never mind. Anyway, we've found the next one, look. There we are. So that's this one. Well, we're at the bottom of the straight, top of the high street, and there's the next one, you see. Placed them in decent locations, haven't we? Very busy Saturday afternoon, and here we are in the middle of the high street. Just on the top side, uphill side of the of the Stone Bow, I should say. A little bit further down Lincoln High Street, and we find the next one. Anyway, we're not giving up, but we're leaving you there. We've got a long enough video, so I hope you've enjoyed it. We've done half of it, and they're all about the same, look.